Good morning. At long last the world governments are taking me seriously. This morning I've tried to reboot my computer as I shut it down last night with the monitor's signal the computer signal being displayed on my monitor, because I started to make videos involving the use of YouTube on that computer and this computer, as you'll see on the American Indian cull. That's the culling of the 500 nations in America. This morning I have a response. As my computer boots up, I see that I'm now the owner of a free Norton security package, and that now my computer is in Intel R dual display clone mode. Okay, so they're beginning to take me seriously. Yeah, it's very important that they take me seriously. I've brought down the last set of regimes in the UK. I'm going to do the same to the Americans if they do not take their country back to democracy and funding democracy through their central bank, and killing other people's citizens on distant continents using the drones from Detweiler McDonald and all of those massive jokes on the war crimes that they share but profess to not understand. Okay, this goes online in a couple of minutes. That's Intel R dual display clone in my own living room, imposed by Norton. Yeah, everything I get for free, and I now have entirely the attention of the world's treasonous and traitorous people. That's the Intel people that dismember our world and our democracy's competence for personal gain, and to kill the innocents so the world can fail to thrive for another couple of 100 years or so. Yeah, okay. I will try and select the monitor output again, but you can bet your boots that everything that happens in this house is surveilled. Last night I watched the Fugitive film again. It pricks their fucking conscience, because every tier of law enforcement everywhere is totally corrupted and totally twisted. They are the mafias now. I saw the ballistic blonde in the supermarket last night, and she's got little things to persecute the innocents hanging from every device on our belt. Yeah. Okay, right then. Notebook and monitor. Intel dual display clone. Let's try taking it back to monitor again. I have no option. With any luck, that might let me use the other computer again, but now we're looking, there we go. So I believe that now, although I have had no say in the setting up of that, and the Norton icon that appeared when it was booting up has now been disappeared for reputational reasons. But anyway, I got to get on, because I've got to finish the story about the American. Yeah, this is the same display that you've been watching for months and months and months. Okay, I now have to reselect everything that I was using 2 days ago when I made the video on the culling of the 500 nations. That's all of America's tens of millions of indigenous people in just a few decades. Right then, and the wars that were going on when I stopped talking about Crown Point 4 and all of the massive deployment of troops from France, UK, all across the European continent, in the North American continent, where the Americans were beginning to provide a presence through their elected representatives, their Union and their Confederate armies. The whole place is a bloodshed field of conflict by design on behalf of the Rothschilds and the moneylenders that still run the world today and run my computer in my own living room. That's you, the Rothschilds. You're in a very dangerous place now, reputationally and physically. Yeah, the people that die for you are now beginning to appreciate why you do it, how you do it, and the psychological master plan that you've deployed for hundreds of years to brutalize the world. Every one of those armies, every one of those insurrections, every one of those martyrs and religious victims, that's the pagans, yeah, every one of them has lost its life and its country's future because of your greed. And you're now dictating the terms of reference in my living room. Bring it on. And I'll play this just once more to remind you of the fucking lyrics before the sun god comes up, yeah, over Santa Monica Boulevard and all of those jokes that you share in popular culture, using the puppet musicians in the New World Order bands that play their part in the dismemberment. Since I started this campaign, there are so many new ones, it's incredible. That's where democracy's funding goes now, on your futile cover-ups. And the British national anthem is just the same. It's full of claims that other countries use knavish tricks to deceive and fool and kill their enemies and their rivals. Yeah, as if Britain did not. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's thousands of years old, and I'm going to stop it unless they take me out in my living room or on the peaceful streets of this country using some of the devices that are tied to the blonde's belt. Michael Moore, that she tried to defend in the last pre-election set of revelations by me, has now been booted from office. There are still no criminal implications for that sad bastard that has led our country into chaos and economic poverty. And that's our country, both sides of the 1,000-year-old bloody battles. Yeah, none of them understand flooding. All of them say that out loud as they stand on the podium and steal from the world. So this is a joke about the land of the braves, and that's why I'm making the next video on the land that used to belong to the American braves. That is the native Indians, tens of millions of them, culled by the white man and his greed. And if you're a relative of Ken Norton the boxer, then I would take a lawsuit against the US government for defamation, because what they're doing under your name now is dismembering the free world. And Ken Norton was a capable sportsman, but also launched into that as an obfuscation tool for everything that they do. Okay, PSYOPs. Yeah, it's really pathetic. The whole world is in fraudulent ownership, and they think that this is the way to continue it. Just a minute, my pages have become unresponsive. Right then, look at the words and listen to the irony. It's for them a joke. Everything they cull is a joke. And it's not just the Americans. The British armies are there. All of them are talking up how they can get rid of the numbers, and they can keep the private estates entirely to themselves. And the dance of death is one of the biggest tricks that the world ever pulled on its war dead. Yeah, they're the innocent people that will swallow a story like that. And Paul McCartney's role in portraying how those activities dancing around on behalf of your one true God, yeah, with the slightly twisted advice from your local theologians and the Christians who are now wielding the guns, yeah, it is just amazing. Yeah, and all of the films that are made, including the Jason and the Argonauts, the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Lord of the Rings, all of them have the dead disinterred jumping out of the grave. And I'll play you Tiny Tim's joke along the same lines as well. He also uses the mandolin to raise the dead in the cemetery. Yeah, and they think in the War Office and in the intel sector that they're ever so clever. When the people catch up with them and the war dead conscience hits them between the eyes, yeah, that's when you get the psychiatric unhingement. Okay, all of them have that coming at them now. All of the actors, actresses, the Coldplay people, yeah, Kate Blanchett looks like death warmed up, if that is not just the Hollywood tricksters doing that. Yeah, but they get what they deserve in the end. This joke is has been around since Independence Day, and their independence is a joke, and they're too stupid to realise that. It's the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed, all the twilight's last gleaming. That's the sun god. The joke is obvious. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Yeah, Rupert Murdoch now runs the sun. My computer is no quicker thanks to the interventions of the Nortons. Do you get it? The rockets and the bombs are the proof that our flag's still flying. Yeah. just to be fair, let you remind you of the second page of the lyrics in the British anthem. It's pathetic. And the French one is associated with revolution. They are all fascists, all of the French leaders. That reads, O Lord our God, arise. The Queen is now more powerful than God in the Church of England. Jesus Christ leads that subsidiary. It's a fraud for 2,000 years. Scatter, O Lord our God, arise. That's the sun coming up over Santa Monica Boulevard. Yeah, scatter her enemies and make them fall. Confound their politics, frustrate their knavish tricks. On her our hopes we fix. God save us all. And just to cap it, I'm going to show you how those bands laugh at the French contribution, yeah, and the religious joke for 2,000 years. I could play you the one with the revolutionary icons on it. I could play you the one with the godly Christian icons behind Chris Martin. There's the one on Viva la Vida, or Death and All His Friends. Yeah, that's the one about the pearly gates and the revolutionaries. Yeah, the revolutionaries in France that are part of the battles in North America, 1789, and all of that time, all of the wars of independence, all of the wars for ownership of the colonies, and the Spanish do not even get a mention in that part of the history, because they've already become the Hispanic slaves. Okay, right then. So the Coldplay lyrics, let's play it with the lyrics on so you can see how vicious the religious joke is. Yeah, this man got a first-class degree in ancient history at University College London, as did all of the band members. They know religion is a joke and they understand the lyrics of that joke. His wife is the woman who's looking like death warmed up because she's part of the propaganda team to cover these ancient jokes.
Well,
That's God. Yeah, the tide, the jokes about kings who try and turn the tide around. The religious fraud has done that already. Jesus Christ is the King. Yeah, and Mary, the Virgin, is the Mother of God. Yeah, he sleeps alone up there in the skies. You might have noticed that the new king is dead as well. Long live the king. That's the resurrection promise. Yeah, are you getting it? Okay, that's the launch of the Christian armies. People could not believe what he had become. Yet he is the Christian icon on the crucifix. The joke is that he made the ultimate sacrifice. That's the false Messiah, and that saves everybody's fucking souls as they wander the world, slaughtering all of the innocents that look up at the sun and the stars in wonder. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, yet there are no genuine revolutionaries until people begin to abuse people with intellects and start charging their students thousands of pounds for something that Chris Martin and his quizzling friends in the New World Order got for nothing, because they are the world's owners and they treat the world's citizens like shit. The world's worshippers are even more badly treated because the psychological deployment of these master plans from highly educated people is shocking, and the gods know it, and that's why the gods release their elements. Yeah, that's now the element that is making the difference and is making his missus quake and age dramatically. Yeah, is the fact that those gods also control human aging, human pathology, and the human behaviours. Yeah, everything we do they monitor, and it's on record now, and jokes like this are particularly evil. I have not seen pictures of Martin in the media since this story was revealed, but his missus is in a sad state, and they're having to break up their wedding because the world's owners are now evil people. Yeah, there are no good politicians. The concept of that has been blown out of the water since false Christianity triumphed. The Pope is a full member of that team. They are genocidal, they are fascist, and it lives for 2,150 years already. So the cavalry joke about the culling of the American Indians, Soldier Blue, the naked white woman persecuted by the Indians on the Christian cross, all of it is a massive piss take at your expense. You do not have the wits to see it. I have the wits to see everything that happens in my life, and everything that happens in the surveillance of my innocent life in my living room, which is why I'm making this very brief video this morning. When you get to the pearly gates, you will know, if there are pearly gates, that you need to do the right thing for your children and your country throughout all of your life. So I'm going to close there. Yeah, for some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word. He knows that there is a God, or there are gods, but they have been overtaken by Christianity and the false planting of a false iconic messianic figurehead who is, yeah, his mum is the mother of God. It is pathetic. He knows it. He also sings about being the Emperor of China and all of the ownership issues all around the world. They understand it. They're really clever people, and they think it's really clever to make a joke about Dorian Gray, and when that person in popular culture gets evil, he gets old really quickly. Yeah, Kate Blanchett, read the novel about Dorian Gray and look to your conscience, the pair of you. You have the capacity for greatness because you are intellectuals. Yeah, you've stolen from the world's people for all of your life. You owe them something back, and I'm hoping that you're bright enough to see that that can make the world a perfect place, and you can become iconic people in the history of global civilization. So there's a plea. Chris Martin, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Blanchett, yeah, it is all in your hands. As scholarly and informed human beings, please, please let the truth out to your fan base. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. Yeah, there is no St. Peter, there never was a St. Peter. The cock crowed 3 times. All of those stories were written by the Piso family in Herculaneum, in Naples, right under Vesuvius, and when the New Testament was released, it blasted the volcano all over the Villa Papyri that the Piso family lived in. They wrote about St. Peter, the first pope. The popes wrote the stories about the kings and queens and innocent democracies taking over from them. That is the Arthurian legend and the round table, that chivalry will prevail across the world. Instead, we have the knavish tricks and all of the cheap shot scams that displace the one true gods that created our universe and have a laugh at their expense. Okay, I'm going to stop there now, because this was, after all, about President Obama's capacity to surveil me on the history of the American nation and the culling of its pagan Indians, yeah, in my own living room, using the resources that should be funding all of our children's future. Right then, on to bigger things.